Good day, everyone. Welcome to our Social Studies virtual class, grade 9A and 9B. This is your teacher here, Miss Michelle Joy. This video will serve as a makeup recap class, especially for the students who were not able to attend our class virtually. So class, before we proceed with our online learning discussion, I would like us to have a short review or recap of the last topics that we have discussed. The first one is Hinduism. What is Hinduism? It is the oldest major world religion. It is 5,000 years old and is the third largest. It is the traditional religion of India, originated in the Indus Valley. The religion is based on God-given truths or laws and is a way of life based on universal principles. Number two, we have discussed about Chinese New Year. The origin of Chinese New Year. The origin of the Lunar New Year festival can be traced back thousands of years, involving a sense of colorful legends and traditions. One of the famous legends is Neon, an extremely cruel and ferocious beast that the ancients believed would devour people on New Year's Eve. So class, Chinese New Year is the most important celebration in China, and this is being celebrated every year between late January until early February. Here are the objectives of our lesson for today. Students must be able to know what Valentine's Day is, and students must be able to know what Ramadan is. So at the end of our discussion, I expect you guys to have understood what Valentine's Day is and what Ramadan is. Let us have our discussion of our topics for today. Letter A, Valentine's Day, and letter B, Ramadan. These are the words to learn that can help us better understand our topic. Please repeat after me so you can still practice your reading skills and speaking skills even if you're just at home. Let's start reading now. Number one, romance. Number two, marriage. Number three, Valentine's Day. Number four, Ramadan. And number five, sacred. Now, let's read the meaning of these words one by one. Synonyms for romance: love, relationship, court, liaison, affair. Next word, marriage. It means wedding, matrimony, wedlock, union between a man and a woman, nuptials, espousal, match, alliance, bridal, amalgamation. Next word, Valentine's Day. Saint Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day is celebrated every year on 14th February. It is the day when people show their love for another person or people by sending cards, flowers, or chocolates with messages of love. Next word, Ramadan. What is Ramadan? Ramadan is when you fast. You fast until sunset. Fast means not eating between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We fast to feel how the poor people feel. And this is one of the beliefs of Muslim people. At sunset, we have a big feast or big meal, and they do that for a month every year. The last word, sacred. It means holy, divine, sacrosanct, hallowed, religious, consecrated, inviolable, sanctified, spiritual, and blessed. So these are the five words that can help us better understand our topic for today. Next Now, class, let us discuss Valentine's Day through the use of your social studies book. So please open them on page 53. Every 14th of February, across the country and places around the world, candy, flowers, and gifts are exchanged between loved ones, all in the name of Saint Valentine. So, class, every 14th of February, every year, we are celebrating Valentine's Day, whether you are Christian or not, because this is widely adopted by different countries in the world. We send candies, flowers, sweets, chocolates, and even Valentine's Day card to the people we love. He was a priest and a martyr. Emperor Claudius II decided that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families. He outlawed marriage for young men. So there was once an emperor, he was Emperor Claudius, and he decided to make a law stating that soldiers are not allowed to get married, but then Saint Valentine opposed this one and he continually do the rites of marriage, and of course eventually Emperor Claudius known about or knew about that, and he Saint Valentine he sentenced him to death. Now class, let us continue about Valentine. Saint Valentine defied Claudius, or meaning he opposed the law of Claudius, Emperor Claudius, that is not allowing soldiers to get married, and continued to perform marriage for young lovers in secret. But then his actions were discovered by Emperor Claudius, and that priest was sentenced to be put to death. Valentine's Day is celebrated worldwide since 18th century. It has been common for friends and lovers to exchange tokens of admiration or handwritten notes on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is the second largest card sending holiday of the year next to Christmas.
Each year, for 30 days, 1.5 billion Muslims around the world fast during the month of Ramadan. You may have heard about Ramadan as a time during which followers of Islam abstain from food and drink each day from dawn until sunset. But there's much more to this month than simply not eating or drinking. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar. Being lunar means, in effect, that within the span of every 30 years or so, the month of Ramadan falls in each of the 4 seasons, hence the just nature of the lunar system. Just imagine the month arising at the same time every summer or every winter, which brings us to an interesting question. It's hard enough to abstain from food and water for a whole day. How do people do it in the summer? Not even water? Actions that Muslims are commanded to avoid during fasting hours include eating, drinking, smoking, having sex, and the list continues. Then they are free vis-a-vis these actions until daybreak of the following day. The time to break the fast, or in other words, to feast, coincides with sunset. It is often a fun time for families and friends who share meals and invite each other over for dinner, or dine with their local community at a mosque or center. Obviously, there are exceptions. For someone with health concerns who requires medications throughout the day, fasting is not an option for them. In general, where fasting compromises an ill person's pace of treatment or prognosis, they are ordered to refrain. Other exceptions include pregnant women, nursing mothers, postpartum women, children, travelers, and seniors who either cannot tolerate fasting or upon whom fasting is harmful. Almost everyone else, fasting is fair game. The month of Ramadan is a time of reflection and self-improvement in terms of oneself, one's behavior with other people, and one's relationship with the divine. Fasting has much inner and outer wisdom underlying it. It is a way for a person to feel solidarity with the millions of poor and hungry people around the world who are fasting day and night without a choice. People usually take food and water for granted and rarely ever feel real hunger, and so don't think about those who are suffering. Fasting is a means for one to share a little bit in the pain, that millions of others go through every day, and to feel more motivated to give to charity to help those who are in need and society's more susceptible ones. Fasting means abandoning, and this abandoning entails physical actions such as eating, drinking, and abstract actions such as abandoning one's ego and becoming totally selfless and annihilated in the divine. With all actions, there is an inner and an outer meaning. The inner objective in fasting is to attain an inner state of silence. This is acquired by slowly, surely taming one's animal dimension, thus becoming closer and closer to the essence of what we are. Don't be sidetracked by the negative images you encounter in the media. Why not experience it for yourself and visit your local Islamic center and take part in the Ramadan experience? See how it goes. Get to know yourself better.
Now, class, let us proceed to our second discussion for today about Ramadan. Please open your social studies book on page 54. Considered the most sacred spiritual reflection. It's a time when Muslims around the world will fast or not eat during daylight or from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. One meal before sunrise and another directly after sunset. Fasting is intended to help Muslims self-discipline, self-restraint, and generosity. Muslims strive to give up bad habits to become better Muslims by praying more or reading Quran. Quran is the holy book of Muslim people. Class, the end of Ramadan is marked by a big celebration called Eid al-Fitr, or the festival of the breaking of the fast. And during this celebration, Muslims thank Allah for the help to practice self-control. There are special services in mosques, streets, and the first daytime meal. During this celebration, Muslims dress in their finest or most beautiful clothes, give gifts to children, and spend time with their families and children. They also give money to the poor people. Okay, class, for the topics that we have discussed today, there were two. The first one, we have studied about Valentine's Day. So again, class, Valentine's Day or St. Valentine's Day is celebrated every year on 14 February. It's the day when people show their affection for another people, especially their loved ones, by sending cards, flowers, chocolates with messages of love. And traditionally on Valentine's Day in a leap year, every 4 years, women can propose marriage to their lovers. The second topic that we have discussed is about Ramadan. Ramadan is the ninth month of the Islamic calendar and a time when many Muslims across the world will fast or not eat from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. during the hours of daylight. Muslims believe that the gates of heaven or Jannah and hell, Jahannam, are locked for the duration of Ramadan. During Ramadan, Muslims celebrate the time when the verses of the Quran were revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. Ramadan is a time of worship and contemplation, a time to strengthen family and community ties because they gather all together. Muslims are expected to fast from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. during Ramadan. Muslims get up early before dawn and have a light meal. This time is known as suhoor. At the end of each day, Maghrib, Muslims traditionally break their fast with a meal called the iftar. Following the customs of Muhammad, the fast is often broken with dates, then followed by a prayer and dinner. Ramadan concludes with the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. Class, it's time for you to do your activity. Click the link in the Google Classroom to answer the activity that is live worksheets. So this is your activity class about Ramadan. It's a picture dictionary. You are going to label the words into the correct picture. And after that, you click finish and then click check my answers. Your scores will appear and screenshot it and send it or upload it in social studies album in your line group class. that is the end of our topic for this week. I hope you have understood our topic. If you have any questions, suggestion, or comments, you can always send me a message in my personal line account. Thank you very much. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye, everyone.